Hi guys, welcome back to AID-ucate. Today we're looking at learning to write, and it's not for any particular age group. I'm trying to make it really simple just for you to get an idea of what the writing process is all about, how to organize your thoughts and put those thoughts on paper. So please enjoy today's video on learning to write. Okay, so let's face it, a lot of people don't like writing at all. Sometimes when I tell my students to write a paragraph, the struggle is real. When they write that paragraph and I tell them this needs to be a 5-paragraph essay, the struggle gets more real. And writing, though, we have to admit, is an important part of everyday life, and this is why we learn how to do this in schools, so we can't escape it, right? I mean, it could be that you're at an interview, it could be that you're applying for a job, applying for college. We have to write. We go various places of business, sometimes we have to write. So let's enjoy it. Writing is a process, and hardly anybody is ever just good at it at the first go. So giving it time, giving it practice will ensure that you get better. So remember, if we are to go way back, say even kindergarten, we are learning a language. We're learning English language. And all of this is important because as we progress through school, as we progress through life, what we know about the language will be very important in how we speak and how we write. So we've always been exposed to this language. So while we're here, we're supposed to get to know English language. And what are some things we need to know about the language? And this is something I would have talked about in a previous video. We know the language when we are safe, when we can safely say that we know the vocabulary. And by vocabulary, we're looking at word choice. We need to have a good word bank. And from that word bank, we should be able to choose the best words to use when we speak or write. We need to know what these words mean. And sometimes we can use a word as its literal meaning, or we can imply something because of how we use a word. Like if I say serpent, and if that's literal, it's like a snake. But if I say he is a serpent, then I'm referring to a characteristic of being cunning, not somebody you can trust. Also, when it comes to vocabulary, we need to know how the words of the language are spelled. Next is grammar. If you know a language, you have to get to know the grammar. Your subject and verb, your verb tenses and verb forms, and all of those things that make your sentences, whether spoken or written, grammatical or correct or acceptable. Another thing you need to know is syntax, which really talks about how your sentences are structured, what parts of speech you are using, how you organize your sentences. And so it would really help to focus on at least these 3 things before thinking of really writing. All these things you have to bear in mind when you write. So before you write, it could be a case where you're given a topic or you're asked to come up with a topic. Whatever the case may be, you really need to start by thinking of your topic. And when you think, next is to write the ideas that come to mind. Like this. This is my dog. Funny story, my daughter named the dog O-O when she was really, really small. So this is O-O. And the topic could be dogs as pets. So we have to think about this topic Think about what the topic is saying, and then begin to write ideas that match this topic. So dogs as pets. You could be thinking about dogs as pets as they provide protection. They're good pets because you are protected when you have a dog. Also because they're fun to play with, or that it's easy to take care of dogs. I always tell my students, come up with at least 3 ideas or points based on the topic that is given. So these are our 3 points. In another video, we'll talk about how to expand these points and create a 5-paragraph essay. So remember, writing doesn't have to be hard. The process of writing includes thinking about your topic. Then you begin to write down what comes to mind, at least 3 points based on your topic. Then you will extend those ideas by providing more information for your readers. You will read what you have written, check to see if you made any mistakes, so you're editing, then revising it. Once you feel comfortable and you have your points and you didn't jumble them up or mix them up, you talked about each point one after the other, then you're free to submit. Happy writing, everybody.